Welcome back to Better Living. I'm your host, Nick Carissimi. In the studio today with me are the founders of Leighton's Gift, Chris and Amy Skaggs. Thank you both for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay, so Leighton's Gift, a very, very interesting organization that's providing a necessary service that I never even thought about. So tell me about what this organization is all about.
Yeah, so Leighton's Gift is in memory of our daughter, Leighton Sophie Taylor Skaggs, and our foundation's mission is to turn a tragedy into something positive. Unfortunately, we lost our daughter early on, and really this foundation is meant to be her lasting legacy.
So the legacy that you have built for her is providing what service? What are you guys doing?
Sure, so our current project right now is installing webcams into the NICU at Texas Health Plano. It's a way for families to be able to stay connected even when they can't physically be there at the hospital.
Now, I never thought of that. And I thought that parents were able to go, is it NICU or NICU? I've always heard both.
NICU.
NICU. Okay, we're going to go with NICU. I thought that parents could go in. So why is a webcam so necessary?
You can go in. You can go in at their scheduled touch times. So for our twins, their touch times were scheduled every 3 hours, and we were allowed to go back for 30 minutes for their touch time per se, which is only 30 minutes. And that's the only time you can touch them, hold them, talk to them, anything, because of overstimulation.
So the parents can go in every 3 hours, but that's it, right? That other family members and people like that can't go in, can they, or can they?
It really depends on the time of year. During RSV season or when flu season comes around, it's a lot more restricted. When we were in the NICU, it was even at any point in time we had 4 people on our family tree, which were our parents, my mother and father, his mother and father, and those were the only other 4 people besides ourselves that could ever go back in the NICU. So no one in our family, extended family, our brothers and sisters, ever got to meet or see the twins.
That was going to be my point, is that you got a lot of people that would love to be there and to love to be a part of that, but they can't to keep the babies safe. Now, in NICU, give me a brief synopsis of what the NICU unit is for anybody that maybe doesn't know.
Sure. So the NICU is the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit.
Okay.
They describe the NICU as basically a roller coaster ride. It's lots of ups, lots of downs. It's for very sick babies. Early, you could be born early.
So is it only preemies?
It doesn't have to be. It could be full-term babies that might have some kind of an issue that they need to watch. Ours were born at 28 weeks, so they were very, very tiny when they came in and required a lot of help early on.
Okay. Now, you had this idea for the webcams. I've never heard of this before. Was this your idea, or did you get the idea from maybe another foundation that's working on this kind of thing at a different hospital?
When we were at home, one night I just needed to see Jackson, and this was once he had already come home with us. And, of course, we had our video monitor that had audio and video, and I just clicked on the monitor, and I could see him, which I was fine after that. And that was our aha moment. Like, why didn't we have this in the NICU? Maybe we could get them iPads or do something so they can Skype. We close $1 million deals via webcast or webcam or whatever.
Sure.
Why couldn't we do this in the NICU? And so I think our first initial thought was, why don't we just go buy a bunch of iPads for the NICU? And they were like, we've got to do something better. There's got to be something. So we started researching it, and we found several camera companies that are strictly for NICU webcams.
Okay.
And so we found one that best worked with what we wanted to do, and that's kind of where we came up with using the Angel Eye.
Okay. And so that's what the webcam is called?
It's Angel Eye Camera Services is the company.
Okay.
And that's all they do is NICU webcams. There's, with some of the audio components of it, you've got to keep things to a certain decibel level, and we worked with the hospital for about 2 years, kind of going through different vendors and different partners, trying to see what might work. And really where we got to the point of picking Angel Eyes is we wanted something that understood the NICU environment. We didn't want just an audiovisual company.
Right.
That, they needed to understand that environment and what those families were going through. I mean, having a NICU admission it's a tough deal.
So this company already existed, and they were already doing exactly what you guys wanted. So, I mean, in reality, if you would have known about this service, you could have already been a part of it.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. And so now you're making sure that parents can be a part of that, and they won't miss a moment, literally.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
So what was the Angel Eyes? What was it?
Angel Eye Camera Services.
Angel Eye Camera Services. Okay. So do these get beamed to your phone? Do they get beamed to your laptop? How does this work?
Any web-enabled device. So laptop, desktop, phone, tablet. The parents get the login, and they can share it with as many people as they want to.
And it just grandma overseas can watch the baby as well.
Perfect. And does this service run 24 hours a day, or are there only times when the cameras are turned on for the kids?
The only time they're ever turned off is by a nurse or a doctor when they have to provide treatment or do something.
Okay.
Then they turn it off if they need be, and it says let the parents know that they can
your
call.
child,
To your
give
child,
us a call.
Give us a call.
Okay. Again, what hospital are you guys working with to provide this service?
So we work with Texas Health Plano,
Okay.
Plano Presby. That was the hospital where our twins were admitted and really became our second family. We spent so much time there that was the first.
How much time did you spend with these people helping you through this process?
I was in antepartum and admitted to the hospital for 5 weeks prior to when they were born. And then after they were born, Jackson was in the hospital for 74 days.
Wow.
So
and how long was he in NICU?
74 days.
The whole time.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Yep.
Okay, so we're talking a long time, and so the idea for you to help people see their babies and experience the first moments of their life, it came relatively quick. Now, how many cameras are we trying to provide for their unit?
The hospital has capacity to do 45 babies at a time.
Okay.
Generally, they're around 28 to 30 is kind of their average admission.
Okay.
But when we were there, they actually were diverting people away, so they were at full capacity.
Oh, wow.
And so we want 45 cameras. We don't want any baby admitted to the NICU that doesn't get the opportunity to have a camera.
Where are we at right now? How many do we have so far?
Currently, we're at 19.
19?
So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Almost
So we're almost halfway there.
Right.
Exciting. Okay. So how long have you guys been working on this specific project then?
So really the foundation formally came into existence in 2013.
Okay.
But I mean, it really became conceptual as early as Leighton service. We did donations in lieu of flowers. We didn't want the flowers and the constant reminder. We weren't even home to enjoy the flowers. We were at the hospital with our son. So, we did the donation. We didn't know what that was going to be, but the hospital just kind of earmarked those funds for a later cause.
Oh, okay.
And then, like Amy had said, once we brought Jackson home, just that one night when she got that weird feeling that she just needed to see him, I mean, that literally was our aha moment. We both looked at each other and just, this is it. This is what Leighton's gift will be.
So you knew from the moment that you guys needed to do something for other people.
The very last night she was with us, we were holding her in this special room called Camp Christopher.
Mm-hmm.
And another family had been right where we were, holding one of their twins for the last time. And we're looking around and we're like, we're going to do something for her. It's going to be big. We don't know what it is yet, but we're going to do something.
We were really inspired by that family, knowing that, we had no idea who they were. We had never met them. But knowing that they were in our exact situation, and they were inspired to give back, that inspired us to give back.
Okay, so you knew that you had to do something, and this is, I think, a great way to do it. You can actually count and check on these people all the time, and you could probably call up the NICU unit and say how many people you got in there right now, and you're going to know how many kids are being able to be a part of that service, and all the people that it will impact, all the aunts, all the uncles, all the people serving overseas. I'm sure that there's a Marine or a soldier somewhere that gets to look at his son or daughter, and they wouldn't have an opportunity to do that otherwise. Maybe in any capacity, especially if they're overseas. But here we are. So let's talk about last year. How did things go last year? Did you raise a lot of money for cameras last year? Did you feel good about it?
Yeah, last year we got from the ride is our annual big fundraiser event. It's a motorcycle ride.
Okay.
And last year we had about 50 motorcycles, about 75 riders.
Great.
Raised a little under $8,000.
Wonderful.
And so that was really good. And then with some general just donation and fundraising that we do throughout the year, in addition, we were able to give the hospital a check for $20,000.
That's fantastic. That's going. I mean, how? That's got to be able to. You got to be able to buy a lot of cameras. But I'm also assuming that you're paying for this service as well. Is that the case, or how does that work?
It's actually just a camera cost right now.
Okay.
So the hospital put in some of the infrastructure behind the IT support behind it.
I didn't think about that.
So they actually were gracious enough to kind of support that and the network and things like that. And then our funds are directly for buying the cameras. Each camera is $3,400 each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't your rinky-dink little GoPro.
No.
Now, okay, then what features does the camera have?
So the camera's got the 24/7 video, and then it's also got one-way audio, so parents can actually speak to their child, which is shown to help facilitate bonding and things like that.
Sure.
They don't allow outside audio because of HIPAA and some of the privacy rules.
Makes sense.
But yeah, parents can talk, can sing to their baby, sing a lullaby to their baby while they're at home. So it's a real nice feature.
Okay. Do they zoom in or move or anything like that?
They can't move it. Only the nurses can.
Okay.
And so parents can call in. They are on articulating arms. And so as your baby progresses through the NICU stay, they might be like Jackson loved to be in a swing.
Okay.
A traditional baby swing. I mean, it's in the hospital, but a traditional baby swing.
Sure.
And so they can take the camera and put it over there while they're swinging or for bath time, things like that.
So the nurses and doctors that are in the NICU unit are going to help you with this process a little bit.
Yeah, that was really important for us, is we didn't want this to be a burden on them. I mean, their primary focus is to take care of our children.
Of course.
So we didn't want this to be an extra burden and feel like they were, video producers or directors having to zoom in and change cameras. And so, the feedback that we've gotten from the nurses is it's a great system for them, a great tool for them. And again, it just helps the parents so much.
Okay, numbers again. So you have how many cameras currently?
19.
19, and we're hoping for 45, you said?
45.
45. Okay. So we're getting on through this year. How have things been going for the past 5 months?
Yeah, I think this year, coming up to our ride this year, has been one of our biggest and best so far. We'll surpass what we did last year in fundraising, which is just fantastic. And then, for the future of this is not a finite project. So our current project right now is doing the webcams. But we became incorporated. We got our 501c3 for a reason. This is going to be a lasting legacy for Leighton. So whether that's something else at Texas Health Resources or another hospital that wants to utilize these webcams, unfortunately, all of these webcams pretty much come from fundraising. It's not hospital budget.
Right.
It's just not money to spend on this.
Of course.
So it takes families and foundations like ours to really get this system in all the NICUs.
So those are the two things that I actually wanted to talk about. I want to talk about how you guys are fundraising, how you've been doing a lot. So you said you have the ride, but I'm sure there's other ways that you guys are doing it. And it helps other organizations that are listening to figure out, little tips and tricks that might help them along. But before we get to that, let's talk about what we want to do in the future. You've got 19, you're shooting for 45. With as good as you guys did last year, and with as good as you seem to be doing this year, you're going to eventually reach that goal. So do you guys know what the next step is? Do you want to go to a different hospital? Do you want to provide another service for the hospital?
I think we're just kind of waiting for our aha moment. We had one with this project, and we just don't know what we're going to do next, but we are definitely going to do something.
Okay, good.
So.
I guess that brings me to that second question. What have you guys been doing to raise money? Because, $20,000 last year alone, it's a fantastic amount of money, but it's going to take a lot of work to get there. So how did you guys do that?
Yeah, most of it's just general awareness, right? Talking about it every opportunity we can get. We have our website. We're on social media on Facebook and Twitter. We're really blessed with all of our family. I mean, even extended family, aunts and uncles, cousins are all very close here in the DFW Metroplex. So their ability to donate and give back to this. And really what we found is even just being at the hospital has been really great having our information out there. Amy's been contacted by families that have used the cameras through Facebook, and found us and reach out to us. We actually just had a really unique scenario where one of the Amy's on a buy-sell trade site on Facebook for clothes that she buys for our daughter. Ridiculously expensive clothes, but she buys them anyway. And she saw a picture from someone that she didn't know, and she could tell it was in the NICU, and it looked like a screenshot. And it was a little baby in there, and they were just asking for prayers. She was born at 23 weeks. And Amy just reached out to her and said, "Hey, I saw your picture. I'm a NICU mom as well, thinking about you. Do you happen to be at Texas Health Plano?" And she said she was. And long story short, they were using the cameras. Unfortunately, they didn't get to bring home their daughter. She passed away after a few short days. But they were so inspired by what we did and the utilization of the cameras and how much they helped them and their family that they did donations in lieu of flowers for their daughter Libby Kate's funeral, and have raised several $1,000s already just on their side alone.
Talk to me about how you feel when you talk to the parents that are using your service.
It's our therapy. I mean, it lets us know that even though she's not physically here, she's here. And she's making a difference in people's lives, possibly in ways she couldn't if she was here.
Yeah, we get
and
to hear her
reaching even
name.
more people. We hear her name all the
all
time.
the time.
And we see it printed, and we see it. We just see so many people being blessed by the fact that she was here and made her mark, even though it was such a short time.
I think that's one thing that we have to be, careful. Obviously, no parent should ever have to bury a child. But it's something for us that, I think it could be super easy as a parent of losing a child to crawl in a hole and just forget that it happened and try to just bury it. And that was one thing that we were very adamant up front is we don't want, she was here. She was a person there. She existed. So, in talking to us, we may cry, we may get emotional, but it's okay. That's normal. It's part of it. That lets us know that she was here and she had a purpose.
Tell me about your family now.
It is, it's quite chaotic. So Jackson will actually be 5 at the end of May, doing fantastic. I mean, you wouldn't even know he was really in the NICU, except he's a little peanut. I mean, he's tiny, but doing fantastic. And then we actually had our daughter, Olivia. She is 2. Will be 2.5 here at the end of the month. And we call her our rainbow baby. And so in the community of parents that have lost a child, anytime you have a child after the loss of a child, it's called your rainbow baby because it proves that after every storm, there's a rainbow.
Beautiful. You have a wonderful family and a wonderful organization that does need some help. Tell me what you guys need as far as donations. How can people help Leighton's Gift?
Sure. So anyone can go to our website and click the donate button. You can donate online. You can send in checks. Even just sharing our story. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to our blog. Anything that helps get the story and the message out. That's what we do. This is not our full-time job. Amy's a full-time mom and I work, in the IT sector. So this is not our full-time job. We have never been fundraisers. We have never been nonprofit chairs. But this is something that just really speaks to us. And again, we wanted to do it, as a lasting legacy for Leighton.
And every little bit helps. So, I mean, if it's $5, it's better than $0. And every single camera in the NICU has a name. We've had the opportunity to name every camera. And we've had several parents, former NICU parents that have been there who have chosen to purchase the full cost of a camera, and we allow them to name the camera or put whatever verse or quote or whatever they'd like on the camera. And so then they have a permanent fixture in the hospital as well. So if somebody does choose to donate the full cost of a camera, they get to play a huge role in naming the camera.
So even allowing other parents that have gone through a similar circumstance to get that seems like even more of a benefit where they really are contributing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a wonderful organization and it's a wonderful idea, and I wish you guys the best of luck in the future for it. It is Leighton's Gift. You can find them online at leightonsgift.com. The founders of this organization are Chris and Amy Skaggs. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.